sends the heat. Yes! 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 Thank you, Nik Bonitto, 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 I do, but do you like that? How do you like seeing your team lose on a 2-point play after scoring an insane touchdown? Because that's exactly how you beat the Broncos week 2 of the 2023 season. Sucks, doesn't it?
The end zone, batted down. Mariota has it rejected.
Well, here we are, week 13 of the 2025 season, and the exact opposite happened. Now, if you thought you were going to have a relaxing Sunday night, you were wrong, thinking the 9-2 Broncos would blow out or at least convincingly beat the 3-8 Commanders. Wrong. Thought you could go to bed at a reasonable hour because there are only 60 minutes in a football game. Absolutely fucking not. There was actually 67 minutes and 13 seconds in the Broncos' 27-26 overtime win. Denver now leads the NFL with 8 wins and 1-score games this season. Technically, the Broncos game started in November and dragged its ass all the way into December. A long 4+ hour game that was exciting, thrilling, heartbreaking, soul-crushing, with a heavy dose of Nik Bonitto, Bonitto, Bonitto in overtime. An overtime game where both Denver and Washington scored touchdowns, and none of us were forced to endure a tie. Suck it, Dallas and Green Bay. Today, I'll spin you a yarn and stimulate all of your senses in the new best game ever. And it is for me.
Call an ambulance! But not for me.
The best game's for me. The ambulance is still for the Commanders.
Yes!
I'm Brandon Perna. This is That's Good Sports. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. We're so close to 830,000 subs. If you like... Today's episode is sponsored by Prize Picks and my code TGS. If you want to play daily fantasy and you know you can do it responsibly, do it at Prize Picks. Use my code TGS, the link in the description, when you sign up. When you make your first $5 deposit, Prize Picks will give you $50 in lineups. And this Broncos Commanders game tested me, but I did win. I did get a win this weekend with my picks. You can follow me on the Prize Picks app. We're well over 16,000 followers there. And again, when you sign up, it's the biggest way you can make an impact for this channel. We get massive bonuses for every 200 signups. We're 16 away from that next bonus. And, you know, there's some people that help make this channel possible. Will Keys, Johnny Barks, Connor Sherrill. They help write and edit, and if we don't get that next bonus, I'm not fucking paying them for Christmas. How rare is this season for the Broncos and in terms of how they're winning games? Bloody rare. There have been 202 instances in NFL history of a team trailing in each of its first 12 games of a season. The 2025 Broncos are the only ones to win 10 of those games. Basically, the Broncos know how to win games no matter how crazy or weird shit gets. And the first wild thing that occurred in this game was no defensive pass interference on Riley Moss. That's right, Riley Moss completed Mission Impossible 5, didn't draw a single PI penalty in this game. And I would say the dark blue sleeves did the trick, Riley. The refs had no idea that you were a white corner. Hell, they probably thought you were Randy Moss's son. If you have been following the Commanders this season, then you know their quarterback, Marcus Mariota, has a weird tick when he plays. He likes to...
Jumps in the air for some reason.
Jump for some reason, as Joe Buck so eloquently pointed out. And Mariota did it again.
Jumps in the air for some reason. Jump pass, Mariota intercepted.
Right before throwing an interception to Dre Greenlaw on the goal line, he jumped and threw a pick for some reason.
This was really unsmart.
The second foreshadowing of the thriller that was in the making was Broncos tight end Adam Troutman breaking 2 tackles on the same play in 3 seasons with the Broncos. I have seen Troutman break 2 tackles total. And for the sake of brevity, I'm going to fast forward through most of the game because the roller coaster didn't really leave the tracks until the final 20 minutes or so. Oh, other than the most abject bust receiver of the 21st century making an all-time great one-handed catch that was drawing comparisons to OBJ's one-hander from 2014. That's the exact moment when I knew this game was going to be unhinged. When Treylon Burks, who worked out with the Broncos this season, mossed Riley Moss in the corner of the fucking end zone for his 2nd career touchdown. A play in which I said, who the fuck is Burks when it happened? Remembering that it was Treylon Burks in the moment was like the entire plot of Memento. I had to check the tattoo on my arm to remember he played for the Commanders. We also got Bo Nix at his best before halftime, a very special only Mahomes laser to Cortland Sutton, mere millimeters before his shin or knee touched the shitty turf there at RFK Jr. Stadium. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called now, right? A stadium where Tylenol has been banned for pain management. And as Ryan Koenigsberg pointed out from DNVR, if Patrick Mahomes did that, it would be a Madden animation within hours. I mean, Mahomes got that for an incomplete pass in the Super Bowl. Nix completed it for a touchdown, and spoiler alert, won the game to boot. But my team is still a bunch of frauds, right? Here's the gist of why this game was so bizarre. The Commanders played an A-plus game, given the circumstances, okay? You can say the Broncos played down to the competition, but I thought the commies looked really sharp. I mean, these were commies who actually spread the wealth equally to the entire team, and it worked. Outside of that very silly jump throw from Mariota.
Mariota. This was really unsmart.
They got one of the best career games from the former Heisman winner / number 2 overall pick, Mariota. Was 28 for 50 for 94 yards through the air, 55 on the ground, and he had 2 passing touchdowns. And honestly, I felt like Mariota had closer to 400 yards until I saw the stat line, because he was dotting up elder statesman Zach Ertz 10 times for 106 yards, which had him pass Shannon Sharp for 5th most career receptions. Fitting in this game, I guess. Scary Terry had 96 yards, and Deebo Samuel had his moments too, particularly at the end of the game. This game, though, is a microcosm of the 2025 season in that the difference between the teams with the best records and the teams just above the bottom feeders is closer than ever. Another explanation is that it wasn't actually Marcus Mariota playing in this game. It was Marcus Mariota.
Mariota.
A completely different guy, if you listen to Collinsworth say his name. Mariota, the commies, running backs, and their ancient receivers all looked really good. It felt schematically like the team that won 2 playoff games a year ago, even without Jaden Daniels on the field. But the Broncos are a much better team in the year 2025, and that's why they were up 2014 with the chance to shut the door at the start of the 4th quarter. And then Bosif Nix threw the ball right to Bobby Wagyu. Good God, when are we finally going to escape the wrath of that 2013 Seahawks team? That throw, though, to a wide-open Bobby Wagner set up a short field that led to a Jake Moody field goal, which cut the lead to 3. Now allow me to present the greatest tripping penalty of all time. Well, a non-penalty that saved the Broncos' arses. A one-of-a-kind trip. What a strange trip it's been. It looked like Mariota, though, had another big rush, a Peyton Manning-esque get off the turf and make a play, but Denver touched him down via a blatant tripping, which could not be enforced because a flag was never thrown. So even if the review reveals a penalty, it didn't matter. Now, I know Washington is probably annoyed by that play, and Denver definitely got away with one, I'll admit it, but the Commanders were false starting all night and holding relentlessly, which is the only way to hold the top sacking defense in the NFL to just 2 sacks. You also know that Laramie Tunsil should have also been penalized in addition to Nik Bonitto here, a personal foul that gifted you a touchdown in this game. Let's just make a gentleman's agreement, Commanders fans, and let's say the refs fucked us both equally, and we both left this game feeling violated. and we'll stick it to them by purchasing... Oh, wrong one. Fuck the Refs coffee. Still available at benchwarmershop.com for our Black Friday sale. I extended the sale till Tuesday night. You got 24 hours. Use code GOODSHITS to get 20% off your coffee and get your gifts before Christmas sneaks up and trips you.
Yank off.
But even after that tripping, backed up Washington, we had to rely on Alex Singleton, showing he has an extremely healthy set of balls when he made a fantastic play to break up what would have been a massive reception for who else but Zach Ertz. It's only fitting that a man recovering from a surgery to remove a cancerous tumor on his balls wins our Big Dick Player Award. Well earned, Alex. And I just want you guys to know, if I ever have to have any sort of cancer removed from my body, specifically my balls, you won't see me for an entire fucking year. The fact that Singleton was out there less than a month after that is insane. Either way, the Commanders had the ball with exactly 3 minutes to go, needing a field goal to tie and a tutty to win. And then the Commanders, they took all 180 of those seconds, 18 plays, just to get into field goal range. That included turning a 3rd and 25 into a conversion over the course of 2 plays because shit, the Broncos just can't make anything easy, can they? And the same kicker who beat Washington on a game winner piped it in for the Commanders to send the game into overtime, which set up a very interesting decision. Washington won the toss and elected to kick the ball and play defense. And I get that you want to know what kind of score you need on your offensive possession in overtime, but Denver's defense was thoroughly gassed, and Washington had a chance to grind them down. Instead, Denver got the ball and sliced down the field in just 5 plays, the biggest one being a 41-yard catch and run for Evan Ingram, a great capper for his best day so far as a Bronco. Bo was surgical, 4 of 4, clutch, magnificent, bodacious, on the giving end of a perfect bow job, if you will, and RJ Harvey got them the 7-point lead in OT, meaning Washington had to score a touchdown just to stay alive. After a quick 20-yarder to Scary Terry, I was indeed quite scared, but the Broncos had a 3rd and 6, and Jahdae Barron nearly ended the game with the pick, but couldn't quite haul it in. 1 play later, it's 4th down. Mariota somehow escapes a sack, and another sack, and then throws the ball, which was tipped, and then picked up by Brandon Jones. It was an interception for the Broncos. Broncos win? Nope. Just like that Colts game, a potential win is interrupted by a flag, and I guess this one was a little more justified than leverage. Why couldn't we get the Mariota who did this shit a few weeks ago? Oh, right, because we got
Mariota.
You knew the Commanders were going to take that shot against Riley Moss, and after a slight hesitation, Deebo Samuel got open and got the ball all the way down to the 2. No flags, but this game had to keep dragging on, didn't it? So naturally, after Zach Ertz dropped what would have been his 11th catch, it came down to a do-or-die on 4th and goal. The 3rd do-or-die play of the game with the Denver D on the field. And again, Washington bested them. A very, very, very scary Terry touchdown. Was it a pick play? Yes. But I was almost relieved to not see a flag so we could just get to the 2-point conversion, because I think we all knew it was going to come down to that. Here's the game. It all comes down to this final do-or-die play again. Denver had not won an overtime game since 2015 against Cincinnati, back when Mike Tirico was still calling games for ESPN and John Gruden was still firing off the most hilarious emails from his ESPN Hotmail account. And on that do-or-die play, Jeremy McNichols gets wide open, but Nik Bonitto goes full Dikembe Mutombo like he was playing in McNichols Arena and rejects the pass at the rim. A true rim job. Now, I don't think anything's going to change in terms of everybody else's perception of the Broncos. They just love to play close games, and they love finding ways to win them. Denver will still get called frauds. Bo Nix will get no credit despite making the coolest throw of all fucking time and coming up mega clutch in OT. But at the end of the day, they are 10-2 and still fighting for the #1 seed in the NFL. I think Bo Nix was the MVP of this game. I really do. But I don't like that he had to be. That he had to throw it 45 times because the Broncos couldn't run the ball effectively. They are clearly missing J.K. Dobbins, and they either need him to get healthy for the playoffs, which could happen, or they need R.J. Harvey to pretend every single run is in the red zone because it seems like that's where he's at his best. They secured double-digit wins for the second year in a row, frauds, and they're a virtual playoff lock, frauds, but that is far from the objective anymore. They're 2 games up on the Chargers in the West, and they have 3 games left against divisional opponents, plus 2 games against the Packers and Jags, who are both currently playoff teams. Win pretty, win ugly, I don't care. Just keep fucking winning.
Yankoff start coming on the field.
Thanks for watching That's Good Sports. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. We make football videos here pretty much every damn day. Do you like football? Do you like football? And this is a welcoming home for you.